this quick new session that we launched recently. This is 7 ways to improve your insurance business in 2022 when the market is correcting. All right, so I know there's a lot of people here. It's a free session. We want to welcome you. If this is your first time joining one of Dr. Sanjay Tolani's event, welcome to the family. For everybody that's coming back, it's great to see you again. Right, for all that are here, thank you. We do have another session actually next week as well. So that's a paid session. This one's a free session. So for all, the more of you that are here, again, welcome. So this is 7 ways to improve your insurance business in 2022 when the market is correcting. Of course, hosted by Dr. Sanjay Tolani. If you don't know Dr. Sanjay, he is now 21 years in the business. He's 20 times MDRT, 2 times COT, and 16 times TOT member. Right? Dr. Sanjay does insurance every single day of his life. And while a lot of you may feel like this is the first time in a while that markets have been going crazy, market crashing, probably a lot of your clients have lost a lot of money in the stock markets. Funds are down. This is not new to Dr. Sanjay. He will be able to explain and teach all of you how to actually improve your insurance business even when the markets are down. All right. So we have a few announcements, of course. Please make sure you have downloaded the PDF notes for today's session. This will help you follow along with whatever Dr. Sanjay will be covering in today's session. But otherwise, please welcome our family leader and our mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tolani.
All right. Thank you very much. Guys, first of all, I'd love to know where you are from. So if you don't mind writing down which country you're from in the chat box, that'll be absolutely amazing. I do want to know where you're from so I can share some very relevant market information with you about your market so you know that it's relevant to exactly what you're doing in your current market. So if you don't mind, just write down the country you're from. It gives me an idea from, what I could share with you, etc. Right, so we've got people from Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, Hong Kong, New Zealand. Wow. Okay, Singapore, great. From Chennai, Rajesh, nice to see you. Awesome. Lawrence from Mexico, good morning. Yes, it is really early in the morning for you. Malaysia. Okay, fantastic. Guys, I've been in this business 21 years, and there's one thing I can definitely tell you. This is not my first market correction. This is not the first time I've seen asset bubbles burst. This is not the first time that I'm seeing inflation becoming a problem. I've heard this over and over again. When the 2008 crisis happened, inflation was a concern. When 2001, when we had 9/11 and the markets corrected, we spoke about hyperinflation. We spoke about currencies disappearing. We spoke about assets disappearing. So I want you all to think about this. What's changed in the last 20 years? What's important that's happened in the last 20 years in terms of the way people manage money? Did I do investments back in the day? Absolutely, yes, I did. I used 2001 was my first ever crisis. That's when I really saw a huge correction in markets. And I saw clients losing money. I met with people telling me, I've lost my life savings. I've burnt I've actually taken on debt to actually do investments, and now I've got liabilities that I have to pay off. And each one of this taught me something new, that we are all risk takers when the markets are going up. And we are all super conservative when markets are falling down, when we should exactly be the opposite. We should be very conservative when the markets are moving up, and we should be risk takers when the markets are moving down. We know that from the theory of finance. So financial theory has always said, be a risk taker when markets are correcting and be a conservative guy when markets are going up. We all know that. But you have to remember, our instinct, right, tells us otherwise. We've always been told, follow what everyone else is doing. And we do tend to follow. It's what we call the herd mentality. And that is the first investment bias that you will study when you do finance. The investment bias of herd mentality. People following people. But that's the truth. We have done that right from childhood. Think about it. It's a childhood philosophy that's stuck in our head. We love to copy people. We copied in school. We've copied when we grew up. Now, as we copy, what do we copy from them? We copy their money making strategy. We copy their investment strategies. And the mistake that we do is we don't realize that we don't have the time to monitor those strategies that we've copied. We are very good with the profession that we are in. And a simple example would be like a doctor. A doctor knows medicine very well. Now you go back to a doctor and say, can you give me some money management tips? Very difficult for that person to be able to give you money management tips, but they'll give you fantastic tips when it came to medicine. I remember trading oil, right? So 2001, I started going into trading oil, trading gold. Did I make a lot of money? I did. But then I also lost a lot of money. So we always talk about when people make money, they boast about it. I made money in this, I made money in that. How many people spend time telling you about the money that they have lost? And I want you all to think about this. Most of our clients will only tell us all the times they've made money. I bought this, I bought oil at $25, I sold it at $100, I bought gold at $400, I sold it at $1,000. We hear those stories. What of the guys who bought at 2,000 and then dropped it and sold it at 700 and lost the money? Guys, that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Now, for those of you who have just joined into the session, I want you all to download the PDF notes because there are certain very important points that I have written in that PDF for you to refer back to once you have finished seeing the session. Those notes are specifically for you to refer back to. They are what we call the bullet points that I do want to share with you today, right? And for those of you who are in this business, running agencies, running systems, invite your team to join into the session because what I share with them is practical tips on how they can grow their business. Guys, 2022 is a very unique year. This year, we are still battling COVID, right? We have now moved to face-to-face sessions. We have started having face-to-face conversations with clients. We have actually gone into what we call the hybrid working mode. And that hybrid working mode, along with market corrections, allows you to have very interesting conversations with your clients. I always thought it was about asset accumulation. It was always about finding the cheapest asset to buy at the lowest price, exiting at the highest point. That is what I thought was investments. Till I was hit with 2-3 recessions. I had market corrections in 2001. I had market corrections in 2008. I had another market correction in 2012. And that's when I really learned the concept of income accumulation. It's about income. It's not about assets. That's when I truly learned it. So if you met me 10 years ago, right, I would have still been talking about asset accumulation. I would have been talking about preserving your assets. I would have been talking about investments into asset classes, finding the cheapest asset class, trying to find the right time to enter the market, exit the market, dollar cost averaging. All these concepts were the concepts of my early years in this business. Do these concepts still work? Theory-wise, they do, but they start to fall apart when there's too much volatility. So I want you all to remember this. Theory concepts work. Long-term, they might work, but they start to fall apart when there's a lot of volatility. So if you're thinking short-term, financial concepts break apart. But when you're thinking long-term, they stretch it out, they might still work. However, what if I could teach you a strategy that works short, medium, long-term, it doesn't matter. It works perpetually. If I can share that strategy with you today, that's the purpose of today's session. Sharing a strategy that your clients can employ and deploy for every generation to come. And that strategy is about income strategy. It's not an asset strategy. It's an income strategy. Think about this. Think about for your own family. Would you want your family to be asset rich or income rich? And I want you all to think about this for yourself. Do you want your family to be asset rich or income rich? How many generations do you want your family to be rich? It's very important for you to figure that out. Because if you don't understand what financial planning is, if you don't do financial planning for multiple generations, you're losing out on the opportunity that you have for your clients. Guys, all of us are financial planners and financial advisors. It's not about 1 year. It's not about one market correction, but it's about multiple market corrections that are still going to come. It's not about inflation this year. It's not about inflation next year. It's about inflation that's going to stay in their portfolio for the longest time. Your retirement plans might be after 20, 30, 40 years, right? We might not see the inflation effect today, but in 30, 40 years, you're going to see a huge impact of inflation. The insurance policies that you purchase today, think about it. Let's say you have bought $1 million of insurance today. What's the value of $1 million in 30 or 40 years? Probably not too much. So what do you need to do in terms of keeping up with times, as they call it? Which investment should I do? We've seen a meltdown over the last few days. I've heard exactly the same words that I heard in 2001. I've heard exactly the same words that I heard in 2008 from clients. I've lost my savings. I've lost a lot of money. I've heard that in the last few days, just few days. And that's why today's session is so important. Because today I want each one of you all to get this correct. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made when the first recession came in. We all get scared. We all do. But what is the strategy to follow logically, right? Money can be a very emotional topic. People don't like to talk about it. Politics is a very emotional topic. People don't like to talk about it, but it's going to happen, right? We've got political agendas going around. We've got geopolitical uncertainty right now. We've got economic uncertainty right now. We've got inflationary uncertainty right now. We've got asset uncertainty right now. We've got COVID uncertainty right now. We've got so many uncertainties. It's not just about one thing. Write this down, guys, because every single one of these uncertainties is exactly the reason why we are so important in this business. What advice would you give to a client knowing that we still have a war going on? We still have COVID on the agendas. We've got economic sanctions. We've got economic meltdowns happening. We've got alternative meltdowns happening. So even the alternative investments that people talk about are falling apart. What do you do today? What do we do today? So there are a few things that I did want to talk about. Why did I even start sharing all this data and all this? A part of your system. And the most important is business. Every single one of you needs to know a very simple thing. Why are you in this business? Because there are days when you will have horrible days, and there are days when you'll feel absolutely euphoric. The days when you feel good, that's no problem. But the days when you don't feel like getting out of bed, you don't feel like going and speaking to a client, you don't feel like going and speaking to a prospect, on those days, you need to ask yourself this question: why am I in this business? On those days, if you don't know the answer to this question, you will find a reason to quit. So a lot of new advisors have not built the system of motivating themselves on a daily basis, of building a prospecting strategy on a daily basis, a closing strategy on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you should be closing. On a daily basis, you should be prospecting. On a daily basis, you should be doing your presentations. On a daily basis. Sanjay, when do I take a weekend? That's the other system that we miss out on. Who do you want to work with? If you're not happy meeting with your clients on a weekend, that means you're working with the wrong people. Think about it. It's not about getting a weekend. It's about spending time with the right people. If your clients are not your friends, if your clients are not like family to you, if your clients are not someone whose future interests are important to you, you're working with the wrong people. How many of you have clients who call you and you look at the telephone number and you're like, I don't want to speak to him? And I want you all to think about this. If you ever have that feeling where you have a client calling and you're like, I don't want to pick up this call right now, that is a type of client you want to avoid. That's a type of client you want to avoid onboarding as your client. We are in a very long-term business, guys. The promise that we have made to our clients is the promise that we have made to our family. Till death do us part. Through sickness and health, through rich and poor, I'll be with you. That's the promise we have given to our clients. Till death do us part. One of us has to die. Through sickness and health, if you're well, you're unwell, I will be with you. Through rich and poor, when things are good, when things are bad, I will be with you. That's the promise that you've given to your clients. It's as good as a marriage. I need you all to pick that up. Is understand you will not just marry anybody in the market. You'll marry the ones that you're most comfortable being with. So if you're a new advisor watching this, I want you all to try and start building a system now. If your foundation is wrong, your building grows incorrectly. So make sure your foundation is correct. Build the right system so that you can build a whole structure that will help you last in this business a long time. 21 years in this business. Have I made a lot of mistakes? Absolutely, yes. Have I made the mistake that I'm telling you about? Absolutely, yes, I have. I've taken on clients that I wish I didn't have. Don't make the same mistakes. Learn to correct those mistakes if you have. Guys, this business is a very, very, very long-term business. It's a career that stays with you for pretty much your whole life. You don't even have to retire from this career because you will enjoy it so much. You're spending that time with amazing people. The second problem that I've noticed, and I want to change this, is I hate it when advisors talk bad about each other. And I've noticed this in a lot of markets. We don't talk good about each other. Think about this, guys. The worst feeling is knowing that someone you know is talking bad about you, or you talking bad about someone else. We all are in the same mission to make sure that our clients have a financially secured future. We all are in that exact same mission. We all are working towards the same target, making sure that our clients are secured. Please don't talk bad about each other. Learn to respect the profession, because if you don't, there's a problem. Now, for those of you who have just joined in, welcome to the session, because today's session is very simply about making sure that you've got the right system in place for your business. So if you have just joined in, I want you all to really download the PDF, because I do want you to have those as your reference notes. If your team hasn't joined the session, invite them to join in. It's a session that will help them become better. And each one of you is very important for your clients. Don't ever forget that. So I do want to tell you that, get that straight. Let's say you're competing against another advisor, right? What is the choice of words that you should use with your clients to not sound like, why not choose me? And I want you all to think about this. When you go to a doctor and you say, I'd gone to this other doctor before, what do they say? That doctor has that as an expertise. And I'm sure they gave you the correct advice based on their expertise. But my expertise is based on so and so. So each one of us needs to learn how to become a specialist in our choice of products. Every single one of us has certain products we like, and every single one of us have products that we don't like. Think about it. I want all of you all today to take a pen and paper, right? Don't write this in the chat box, because I don't want people to know everything. I want you to take a pen and paper, and I want you to write down the name of the products in your company that you absolutely love working with, products that you truly believe in. When you write down the list of products that you truly believe in, you will know exactly what you should specialize in. So instead of becoming a one-stop shop, instead of becoming that one guy who can do everything, right? I want each one of you all to learn to becoming specialists, because if you don't become a specialist in this business, you will not be respected for the kind of advice that you give. Don't become a supermarket. A one-stop shop is not the way forward in our business. Becoming a specialist is. Think about it. You just look at the head, right? Every single part of the head has a different specialist. The brain has a different doctor, so we call them neurologists. The eyes have a different doctor. The ears have a different doctor. The nose has a different doctor. Your teeth have a different doctor. Can you imagine you go to a neurologist and say, I'm having pain in my tooth? What will that neurologist say? I think you've come to the wrong doctor. You need to go to a dentist. And imagine you go to a dentist and say, I'm having a lot of headache. I'm feeling dizzy and I've got, the world is rotating around me. They'll actually tell you, go to a neurologist. So learn to respect each other's specialty. Choose your specialty. There's enough business in the world. There's enough clients in the market, but we don't have enough specialists. So if there's something you want to become competitive on, is become competitive in your area of specialization rather than being competitive on product. Please remember, almost all the insurance companies have the same products. You die, I pay. You fall sick, I pay. You retire, I pay. Your kids go to college, I pay. There are only 4 products in our business. So almost all the insurance companies have same products. What makes us different is the advisor that's helping you with those products. You have to learn to choose your area of expertise. What are you a specialist with? And please do not become a one-stop shop. Because when you become a one-stop shop, you're basically saying, I'll do anything and everything for you, which is not true. You devalue your actual value proposition to your clients and their families. So I want you all to remember this. And please do not talk bad about other advisors. If you see there's bad advice, report it. Report it to your company, but never badmouth an advisor in front of your client. If you feel there's someone who's done something wrong, you can report it to the regulators. You can report it to your company. But please do not devalue our profession. Learn to become professionals in this business. Learn to hold up the reputation of our industry in front of our clients. Support our industry. Help your clients understand the product. If they have doubts about it, tell them what are the questions they should be asking their advisor. That's all right. But please do not devalue your value proposition to your clients. Because if you do that, it affects all of us, not just one person, but it affects all of us, including me. And that's the reason why I started this whole mentoring family, so that I can share with you that, guys, we need to learn to uplift our profession together. I am married to this business. This business is the most important part of my life. It's a career that I look forward to working in. It's a career that I want to build. It's a business that I want to be successful in. But our success as a profession is purely based on the way we build our own reputation. Who wants to become an insurance agent? Think about it. How many people join the world of insurance by mistake? They joined because someone said, why don't you try it? There were 3 things that I was sold when I was joining this business. Sanjay, you'll have flexibility of time. Sanjay, you'll have the freedom to earn as much money as you like. Sanjay, you'll have the opportunity to work with whoever you like. That's the dream. How many of us are earning as much money as we like? How many of you are working with people that you like? And how many of you feel that you have freedom of time? Think about it. That is the mistake that we made. The truth is, our business gives us all these 3 opportunities. But how many of us actually value these 3 opportunities? How many of you choose your clients? How many of you actually focus on building your business so that you can earn as much as you like? And how many of you actually have got time to do whatever makes you happy? If you truly build this business, you will have all 3. But I can't do this alone. We as a profession have to do it together. And that's why please stop talking bad about each other and learn to support your fellow advisors. If you see someone doing something wrong, go to them, talk about it. Tell them, I saw you give this advice. Don't you think this could have been a better advice? Just out of curiosity. Have an educated debate. Have an educated conversation. If you feel someone's doing something on purpose, go and report it. Go and speak to your company. Go and speak to your regulator and say, I saw this happening and I thought this was incorrect. Go and report it. Why not? It happens in every profession. It happens in the world of medicine. It happens in the world of lawyers. It happens in the world of accountants. It happens in the world of educators. It happens in almost every world that we will have some black sheep. We will have some bad apples. But when that happens, we as a profession need to come together to remove those bad apples and not spoil the reputation for everyone. That's the secret to making our profession very good. The third reason why I wanted to share my knowledge was because I saw a lot of people who are not even practitioners in our business who are sharing knowledge, which is all theoretical, but they actually are not working. And I saw that and I was very upset about the quality of information that was being spread by these guys who don't know anything about a business. They're not insurance advisors. They're just sharing knowledge which they themselves have never tested. There's a lot of theory on finance. All right, there's a lot of theory on marketing. There's a lot of theory on sales. But those theories don't work very well for the insurance world. I want you all to think about it. How many people wake up in the morning and say, today I want to buy life insurance? Yes, they might wake up one day and say, I want to buy car insurance. I want to buy travel insurance. I want to buy home insurance. But how many people wake up any morning and think, you know what? Today I'm going to go and buy life insurance. Or today I'm going to go and do research on life insurance. They usually don't. When does that get triggered? So that trigger to buy life insurance or that trigger to buy income protection or critical illness insurance, that trigger usually happens when they've just fallen sick and they can't afford and they can't get covered. Insurance is a product that can only be purchased when you don't need it. Insurance is a product that can only be purchased when you don't need it. Because when you need it, you can't purchase it. That's the problem with our business. You see, most of our clients don't need insurance. Most of our clients don't need insurance. But when they need it, they can't get it. So the only time you can purchase insurance is when you don't need it. So if you don't need it, why would someone go and buy it? Think about it. Nobody buys insurance because they need it. They buy insurance because we sell it. And that's the problem with our product, that when clients need our product, they can't buy it. You can only buy it when you don't need it. You have to be healthy to buy it. And when you're healthy, you actually don't need it. But as soon as you become unhealthy and you need insurance, you can't buy it. True or not? You see the problem, guys. Whereas all the other sales strategies, so any other product, you can buy it when you need it. Insurance is the only product you have to buy when you don't need it. And that's why it's not a priority. And that's why the standard sales practice, the standard distribution doesn't work for insurance. It might work for other products, but it doesn't work for our product because our product is only available when you don't need it. It's a backup plan. Nobody actually has the incentive to buy our products. Think about it. All of us have bought a car. How many of us actually ask the car company, can you put extra seat belts? Can you put extra tires? Can you put extra airbags? We don't. We take standard. If they did not put seat belts, you actually don't care. So till you don't actually have an accident, you don't value a seat belt. Till you don't actually have a crash, you don't actually value an airbag. Till you don't have a punctured tire, you don't value a spare tire. How many of you have actually checked on your spare tire? All of us have a spare tire in our car. How many of you have done a maintenance on your spare tires? Think about it. It is never on your agenda. Even when your car goes for service, you don't ask the service center to check if your spare tire is fine. How many of you have ever replaced your spare tire? Think about it. That is your insurance. It's not your priority. You will do an oil change because you use it every day. You will add fuel to your car because it's an everyday need. You will check your air pressure tires for your regular tires, which you use every day. How many of you check the air pressure of your spare tire? Because when you need it, if it's not there, it doesn't work. That's insurance. Insurance is a seat belt. Insurance is an airbag. Insurance is a spare tire. That's what insurance is. It is not a priority for people. And that's why the sales process for the world of insurance is very different. So when I see these non-practitioners who have no clue about selling insurance, talking about insurance sales and talking about acquiring clients, etc., they've got the sales process wrong. They actually don't understand what the insurance sales process looks like. And that's the reason why I wanted to share this knowledge for free with all of you. Why am I doing the session for free? So that each one of you gets your basics correct. Because if your basics are incorrect, your foundation is wrong, you cannot build this practice. You cannot build this business. And the fourth and the most important thing that I really want to cover today, or I want you to understand that I'm trying to change, is public's perception about us. I want every single insurance advisor to be proud of the business that we do. I want each and every single insurance advisor to feel happy about everything that we do. Because in our business, none of us are very happy about sharing our designation. Think about it. We find creative ways to tell what we do. We'll call ourselves financial engineers. We call ourselves financial builders. We'll call ourselves financial architects. We'll call ourselves financial gurus. We'll call ourselves financial, planners. We create all these very creative ways to explain what we do, when in the end, we're actually just insurance advisors. We use insurance as a mechanism to protect clients' money. We use insurance as a product to help clients pass on wealth. We talk about insurance using insurance as a way to build an income stream. Think about it. We are not very proud of the work that we do. We're not proud of our designation. And that's because of the stigma attached with our profession. So because of that stigma, I wanted to create this mentoring family to help everyone elevate the concept of public perception. Because we as a community need to work together to build the reputation of our industry. And that's the reason why I'm doing today's session as well. I want each one of you all to focus on building the reputation for our business. So what we'll be learning today? I want to go through the list of the biggest mistakes that I have made and the mistakes that you should be avoiding in this business. Because I have made mistakes. I'm not saying I haven't. I've actually made a lot of mistakes in our business. But I do want to share with you what are the biggest mistakes that you should be avoiding. I'm also going to talk about what are the 7 ways that would affect, the 7 ways to build your career. So what are the 7 things that if you do correctly, you'll be able to build the career path. And the last thing is I want to talk about the latest trends that happened during Q1, which will affect your business in Q2, Q3, and Q4. So I'm talking about quarter 2, which is a very important part of our business. It is probably one of the most important parts of how we will end the year. So quarter 2 and quarter 3 play a very important role in how you do your final sprint. If you don't put in the right work during Q2 and Q3, your final sprint will get affected. And that's the reason why I wanted to do the session. That I can give you the best final sprint strategies. But if you haven't done Q2 well and you haven't done Q3 well, final sprint becomes very difficult. So I do want to share with you what are the latest trends, what am I focusing on, and what are the conversations that I'm having with my clients. And that's what I want to share with you today as well, right? So coming to the 7 biggest mistakes that I have made and things that you should avoid. I've heard this from a lot of my mentees, right? So a lot of mentees have told me this. They said, Sanjay, I always think that I don't have enough prospects. How many of you have a prospecting problem? Be honest to me. We all are all of us who are in this session today are pretty much financial advisors. So tell me, how many of you have a prospecting problem? All right. How many of us have a prospecting problem? I would love to know that. Okay. Harshvardhan says, I have. Ravi says, I have. James, okay. All right. Kylie, okay. Shirley, Mimi. Tokir, you don't have a prospecting problem, my friend. I know you. So this is something that I need all of you all to understand, right? That prospecting as a problem. We don't have a prospecting problem. We have a conversation problem. All of you know many people. I want each one of you all to think about this. Just take your phone book. Yeah, just take your mobile phone. All right. Look at the number of contacts that you have. You all know at least 300 to 400 people, if not more. I know some of you have got 1,000+ contacts on your phone book. It's not that you don't know people. The problem is you don't know what to speak to them. So prospecting is not the real problem. In the olden times, right? In the 20th century, prospecting was a problem. I want you all to think about this. In the 20th century, for me to get in touch with somebody was very difficult. Today, I can get in touch with you on WhatsApp. I can get in touch with you on a phone call. I can get in touch with you by email. I can get in touch with you by a Facebook message. I can get in touch with you through an Instagram message. I can get in touch with people. Prospecting is not the problem. Prospecting used to be the problem of the 20th century. But in the 21st century, prospecting is not the problem. You know a lot of people. The problem is you don't know what to say to them. You don't know what the conversation should be. So I want you all to understand this. Remove this first misunderstanding from your brain that you have a prospecting problem. You actually know a lot of people. And I think, you know what the real problem is? You know so many people that you actually don't know who to speak to first. So the true problem is not that you don't have prospects. The problem is you have too much choice. You have the choice to work with whoever you like from your whole database, from your network. You have the choice to work with any one of them. It's just that you don't know who to start with. And I want you all to try doing this today. I want you all to start going through your phone book and looking at all the contacts that you wish you had a relationship with. So forget sales for now. I want you all to stop thinking sales. And I want you all to start thinking relationships. I want you all to start thinking about having a conversation. Stop thinking sales. Let's keep sales on the side for now. All right, because I know all of you all are under the pressure that when I meet someone, I have to sell. Let's remove sales from the picture. Okay. And I want you all to start looking at your contact list on your phone, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. I want you all to start looking at your contact list as the relationships that you want to build. Guys, our business is not a sales business. Our business is a relationship business. The more relationships you have, the better your sales will automatically be. So let's keep sales on the side. Sales is a byproduct of our actual business. Our actual business is maintaining good relationships and giving fantastic advice. That is our true business. Sales is only a measurement of how good we do these two things. So sales is only a measurement of how good your relationships are and how good your advice is. So I want you all to think about that our business is not sales. Our business is building relationships and giving fantastic advice. So what you need to do today, if you think prospecting is your problem, I want you all to start focusing on building new relationships with the people that you already know. They know of you. They probably don't know you as well as you wish they did. So give them a call. Go and meet them. Go and have a cup of coffee. Stop sitting in your office. That's one of the biggest mistakes we do as financial advisors. We spend too much time in our offices. Guys, you guys are so lucky that your agency leaders take such good care of you. You know what I had? When I joined this business, I was working under my father. My father was my agency leader. My father didn't even allow me to enter the office. He said, get out of the office. You're not allowed to drink coffee and tea in the office. And I was like, why not? And he said, you're going to waste money. What's the point of drinking coffee and tea in your own office? Go and drink coffee and tea with someone else. How many of you have meals alone? Why do you not have a meal with someone else? Why don't you sit with somebody and have a nice conversation while you have your lunch, breakfast, dinner? Why not have a conversation with people? Actually, you should skip a meal if you have no one to eat with. If you have no one to eat with, you might as well not eat. What are you eating for? You might as well go and work. Call somebody. Learn to have a meal with someone. Don't eat alone. Have coffee with someone. Don't drink coffee alone. Have a conversation with someone. Don't sit alone. Guys, we live in a world where we lost that opportunity to communicate for 2 years. Did you not realize in the 2 years of COVID that we are all social animals? We need to be connected. We need to be talking to people. We need to be meeting people. We need that hug. We need that handshake. We need to be looking at people. You got that during COVID. Why are you not doing it? Your offices are too comfortable, and that's the problem. You guys get comfortable in your office and then you don't want to leave. You know, the only time I was allowed to enter my office was if a client came. So if a client is visiting my office, that's the only time I was allowed to enter the office. My father wouldn't allow me otherwise. I'm not allowed to go to the office. He said, your client's office is your office. Your client's meeting place is your meeting place. You have nobody in your office who will buy insurance from you, correct or not? There's nobody in your company that will buy insurance from you. Then why are you spending time with them? Spend time with the people who you truly have to work on, whose future you truly depend on. You spend time with those people. You spend time with anybody whose future and your future is intertwined. Don't spend time with someone who has no impact on your future and who you have no impact on. Stop wasting your time. Spend time with anybody whose future is intertwined with your future. And if you don't have that opportunity, right, you get the best time to network, or I would say build a relationship, is over breaking bread. That's why it's called breaking bread. You sit and break bread with someone, have a meal with them. That's fine. Don't have a meal if you have no one to eat with. Seriously, think about it. A simple concept like that will affect your business. Learn to have that conversation. So, the second biggest mistake that we all make, right? You do not have a target market. You actually have not identified who is the client you want to work with. You see, when I joined this business, I remember my trainer, right? He told me something very funny. I mean, I can never forget it. So I'd gone for insurance training at our company. And my trainer told me, he's like, so I asked him, I was like, who do I sell to? I mean, who is my potential target market? And he said, everyone that's walking on the street, that's your target market. Everyone needs insurance. I said, okay. He's like, put your finger under their nose. If there's hot air, they're a prospect. And that's what I was taught. And I realized very quickly, that's not the correct way to build a practice. Yeah, it's a very good way to leave this business because you're trying to work with anybody and everybody. And then you become unhappy and then you leave. That's a very good way to leave the business, knowing the fact that you can sell insurance to anybody. You each need to identify what's your target market. Who do you truly like spending time with? Learn to profile your clients. Learn to profile the people that you want to work with. What is the kind of personality they should have? What's the kind of product they like? What is the kind of family background do they have? For example, you might connect very well with singles. You might connect very well with young couples. You might connect very well with young families. You might connect very well with pre-retirees. You might connect very well with retired people. You might connect very well with parents. You might connect very well with grandparents. What is the profile of client that you connect very well with? You might connect very well with professionals. You might connect very well with college students. Guys, I know a lot of you think college students is a small market. You'll be shocked the amount of disposable wealth that college students have. You'll be shocked on the amount of money that you can actually get servicing just college students. That's how I started. I got my first MDRT working with classmates. I got my first MDRT working with college students. So I want you all to think about this, that what's your target market? Now, for those of you who have just joined in, I want to tell you, welcome to the family. If you haven't downloaded the PDF, I want you to download the PDF because you need to keep reviewing these mistakes. You know, when these mistakes are kept in front of you, you will try and avoid them. It's a habit that we have to change. So please do download the PDF. I want these mistakes to be in the front of your eyes so that you know that you are supposed to avoid these mistakes. I've written them down for you for a simple purpose, that I've made the same mistakes and I don't want you all to make this mistake. Learn to avoid these mistakes. I also like to work with anybody and everybody. That's how I started in the business. And I realized that's not how to become successful. You have to identify your target market. If you haven't invited your fellow colleagues into the session, please do so. We have to work on improving the quality of our business together. You alone can't do it. I alone can't do it. We have to work on this together. All of us have to work together to understand that if we don't build our practice, we don't build our business, we don't build our reputation together, we will still be a stigmatic profession. And I want that stigma to disappear. At least in one generation, we should clean that stigma. But we can only do it if we work together and focus on sharing best practices. We focus on building the right structure, the right system to run this business. This business is not about commissions. This business is about the work that we do. Sales is a byproduct. I'm going to keep saying this. Sales is a byproduct of the quality of relationships and the quality of advice that you give to your clients. Please focus on these two very important factors in our business. The quality of relationships and the quality of advice will affect your sales directly, not indirectly, directly. Sales is only a measurement of the quality of advice that you give to your clients. Please keep this in mind, right? So learn to choose a target market. Learn to choose a market that you're most comfortable with. Learn to set a profile of clients that you want to work with. Remember, you've got to work with them for a long time. You're in this business for maybe 30 or 40 years. You're not going to be in this business for 1 or 2 years. You're going to be in this business for a very long time. You can build a relationship with clients and grow with them. You will grow with your clients. As you help your clients progress, they will ensure that you progress. You are the average of the 5 people around you. That's the fact. So you need to learn to grow that average. We know that for a fact. So think about this. The third mistake, and this is something that I'm very guilty of, is you let one bad experience affect you and demotivate you. I'm guilty of it. So I'm not saying that I'm not. I am guilty of this exact problem. I'm guilty of the fact that when I had a very bad experience, I thought this business is not for me. Guys, I'm a qualified guy. I've got 2 bachelors, 3 masters. I've done my PhD. I don't know how many other certificates that I have. I'm what they call an overqualified insurance advisor. I could be doing any profession in the world. I could become a lawyer. I could become an accountant. I could become an economist. I could become an actuary. I could become an underwriter. I could take on a desk job at any time. I could become the CEO of a company. It doesn't matter because I'm qualified to do it. I have a PhD in behavioral finance, right? Where I've studied about insurance, risk management, psychology. I have a PhD in that. I could be doing anything I want. I choose to be an insurance advisor. I have days when I feel horrible. I have days when clients have talked me down. I've had bad experiences. I'm not saying I haven't. I'm not saying that when you have a bad experience, just shrug it off and move on. It's tough. It's easier said than done. But when you have a bad experience, you need to ask a question to yourself. Why did you join this business? Why are you a financial professional today? Why? And that's the reason why I said, when we start into this business, if we don't know our why, we will leave this business. Can you imagine if every surgeon in the world who lost a patient on the surgery, right? A lot of doctors, they lose their patients during surgery. Do they feel demotivated? Absolutely, yes. But if they don't pick themselves up and they don't come out of that trauma of saying, you know what, I lost a patient today, and they don't remember the reason why they joined this, why they became a doctor or a surgeon in the first place, we would have a lot of doctors quitting. Think about it. It's exactly the same thing. Guys, we will have bad days. We will be demotivated because of experiences or something. That does not stop you from your mission, your purpose of being in this business. So make sure that you have your why very correct. Don't let one bad experience be the judgment for every single client. Everyone is not the same. I promise you, everyone is not the same. Every single profession, we will go through bad days and good days. If you don't know why you're doing this business, when you have a bad day, you will find a reason to quit. So please know your why. Write it down for yourself. Remind yourself every day, why are you actually in this business? What is it for you? That is one of the secrets to becoming successful, is reminding yourself why you're in this business. I'll tell you a secret that I do, right? When I have a bad day, I take a nice shower, I eat something that makes me comfortable, I call up a client that I love speaking to, or I would go and meet that client, have a cup of tea. It refreshes me. It reminds me of why I'm in this business. That's what I do, right? I'm sure all of you have different ways of handling bad days, but that's how I handle a bad day. I sometimes just sit and meditate. I read a book. I write something. I write a story. I write what I'm thinking. It helps me to express myself out. Learning to express yourself out will also help you. Guys, we are in a business of communication. The more you communicate in this business, the more successful you will be. So get into the habit of communicating your thoughts. Get into the habit of sharing what you're feeling. Communicate what you feel sometimes. You build an agency system, right? We all are part of some agency system. The whole purpose of that agency was to support each other when we have bad days. So instead of sharing negativity when you have agency meetings, share positivity. I've sat down in some agency meetings and I've heard people say, hey, our company products are so bad. The market is so bad. The clients are so bad. This is bad. That is bad. Where's the positivity, guys? One of the reasons why I don't like to go to some of the agency meetings is because of that. I want you all to get into the habit of sharing positivity. Get into the habit of telling people how you came out of it. Learn to help other advisors. We all are in the same profession. We are not competitors. Please get this very clear. We are not competitors. We all are working in exactly the same direction, ensuring that our clients are financially secured in the future. That is what we all are doing. We are not competitors. We are colleagues. And I want you to get this out of your brain that we are competition for each other. Every single insurance company has very similar products. Stop talking down another insurance company. Stop saying that insurance company is bad. This product is bad. There is no bad product. Every product has a purpose. Every product is competitive. We are in the 21st century. Everyone knows what everyone is doing. So stop saying that we are competing. We're not competing. Each one of us is working towards the same mission, which is ensuring that our clients are financially secure. Some of us might be bad apples. It doesn't mean the whole industry is bad. Please get that very correct. There are bad apples in every single profession. There are bad doctors, there are bad lawyers, there are bad engineers, there are bad accountants, there are bad business owners, there are many bad things. They are bad in every single profession. I want you all each to think about this. If you have just joined the session, guys, I want you all to please download the notes because these notes are going to be your reference point for the rest of 2022. These notes will help you get to the next level during this very tough time that we are probably going to see. So if you don't build the right structure for yourself now, you will be in trouble. So download these notes so that you've got access to these review points that you need to keep watching, listening to, and remembering. You need to keep reminding yourself to avoid these mistakes. Each one of you needs to learn to avoid these mistakes. If your friends are in this business, please tell them to join the session so that they get an idea on what they need to do. I'm not a coach. I'm not a trainer, guys. Let me get that very clear. I'm not a coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm an insurance advisor, just like each one of you. And what I'm sharing with you are the mistakes that I have made and how I have improved on my business. Because if you get this correct, you will build a practice that will sustain all these downturns, all these negative market movements. You will build a system of excellence. Kyo, it's so nice that you're from Cambodia. It's always nice to meet someone from Cambodia. The fourth mistake is you focus too much on the product instead of advice. I'm guilty of it as well. All right. I remember when I, again, joined in this business, I remember my trainer telling me, Sanjay, this is our hot selling product. This is our best product. And this is what you should pitch to your clients. And I remember going to some clients and saying, this is the best product. This is the features. This is what you should be buying, blah, 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 blah. And I was so product focused that I got it completely wrong. Think about this. Imagine I have the best chemotherapy. And I go to everyone and say, I have the best chemotherapy. I think you should buy it. The features are damn good, blah, 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 blah. I don't have cancer. Why do I need chemotherapy? So, if you truly want to be successful in this business, stop thinking about product and start thinking about advice. What is the advice that you would give to this client? What is the advice that you would give to this profile? Learn to profile your clients and think about the advice you would give to that profile. Now, for those of you who don't know this, I have actually created 8 profiles. All your clients fall in one of these 8 profiles, and it's in the financial planning book. So if you have the financial planning playbook, it's very clearly mentioned the 8 profiles that all your clients will fall into, and what is the advice that I would give you if you fall into any one of those profiles. I've actually written it down for you. So if you want to learn to put into your clients into profiles, get that notes. The financial planning playbook, I've actually profiled all the clients into 8 categories. And there are 3 questions that you have to ask to know which profile they fit into. Or actually, you probably already know the answer to those 3 questions about those clients. The first question is, are you married? Do you have dependents? And do you have an income? That's it. I only need answer to these 3 questions. I don't need your age. I don't need your gender. I don't need anything else. I just need the answer to these 3 questions and I can profile you. Think about it. Learn to profile your clients in the fastest way possible so that you can give them your best advice. Because we do a lot of fact finding, right? When I joined this business, I was told, Sanjay, fact finding is the way to know your clients. That's absolutely correct. It is a very important step in our sales process. Fact finding is very important. However, fact finding only works once you have built a relationship with your client. Your clients don't give you the facts till they don't trust you. So if they don't have a relationship with you, they will not trust you. And if they don't trust you, they will give you incorrect facts. So if they give you incorrect facts, your fact finding doesn't work. And that's the problem. Think about it. Almost everyone lies about their age. Whether you're a male or female now, in the olden times, I would say the 20th century, women said, 10 years younger, right? So if you ask them, how old are you? It's always -10. Now even men do that. That was not what men did, but now even the men do that, right? You ask a man, how old are you? I stopped growing at 21. I stopped growing at 25. I'm 25 plus plus. You will hear those kind of words. They don't even want to tell you your age. And then when you go down to ask them, what's your income? What are your expenses? What are your assets? What are your liabilities? They don't know it. Think about it. Most people don't even know how much they earn. Most people don't even know how much they spend. You know, there was a whole research done. 95% of housewives did not know about the liabilities that their husbands had. 95% of housewives did not know about the liabilities that their husbands had. And by the way, 100% of married men don't know where their wives spend money. Think about it. And you ask them, how much do you spend? They don't have a clue. How much money do you make? Don't know. How are you going to complete that fact find if you don't know those answers? So you have to learn to give generic advice. Once they trust you, they will give you the real numbers. They will allow you to help you explore the real numbers. So if you want to get into giving really good advice, you need to first learn to build the right relationship. Give them the reason on why they should be even giving you all that data. So fact finding is a part of the sales process. But before you give them specific advice, learn to give them general advice. For example, how much water should you drink every day? 8 glasses of water. That's general advice. Now, if I want to be more specific, I need to check the amount of exercise you do, the amount of activity that you do, then I can give you specific advice. Instead of 8 glasses, you should have 10, or instead of 8, you can even have 6. That's specific advice. That is fact finding. Generic advice, you should do 10,000 steps a day. Generic advice. Generically, everyone should be doing 10,000 steps a day on an average. But if you have got high calorie consumption, you should be doing 15,000 steps or 20,000 steps. If you're trying to lose weight, you should be doing more steps. If you're underweight, you probably want to exercise lesser, right? So specific advice can only be given once they have accepted the generic advice. So the financial planning playbook, that's exactly what I covered in that. I put in generic advice. I profile clients into 8 categories. I give generic advice, but if they want specific advice, then they have to give me more data. But that is step 2. Think about it. That's step 2. You guys all go into fact finding based on right from the beginning. You're focusing on the product. You're not focusing on giving good advice. Stop thinking product and start thinking advice. Start thinking generic advice. Learn to give advice to anybody and everybody. What is our job? What did I tell you? We only have 2 jobs: building relationships and giving good advice. That's our job. Sales is a byproduct of these 2 jobs. If you do these 2 things correctly, sales will automatically happen. So sales is a byproduct. It's a measurement of how good you are with your relationships and how good is your advice. How many people truly look forward to getting advice from you? That is your mission. And I want you all to focus on that. So stop making that mistake, guys. The 5th mistake, you're always giving yourself too many excuses on productivity. I'm guilty as well, all right? We all have bad moments in our career, right? So we will have bad years, we'll have bad quarters, we'll have bad months, and we will find a reason to blame somebody else. I remember a story that I heard many, many years ago. So there was a scientist, and he was working on building a computer that's exactly like humans. So he comes into his colleagues and he said, I have made the perfect computer. It behaves exactly like humans. And they're like, what's so special about it? And he said, whenever the computer makes a mistake, it blames another computer. And that's the reality. We find reasons of why we are not productive. We will blame another human being, we'll blame another person, we'll blame economics, we'll blame markets, we'll blame clients, we'll blame our agency, we'll blame our company, we'll blame our product, we will blame somebody else, but we will not blame ourselves. Whenever we don't have our productivity, whenever we are not productive, we find a reason to blame someone else. Stop that. Stop that. Just stop that. I'm guilty of it. I'm not saying I haven't done it in the past. I even do it sometimes today, right? I will blame something else. I even do it today, but I remind myself, Sanjay, what could you have done different? What could you have done different to be successful? What could you have done better? What could you have done? So we have always been told we need to create learning moments for ourselves. What could you have done better? Did you give bad advice? Did you communicate it badly? You might have given good advice, but your tonality was wrong. You gave good advice, but your concept was wrong. You gave good advice, but they misunderstood what you said. So you have to sometimes just change your choice of words. You could have changed the way you communicate. We have got into the habit of sending WhatsApp messages. We've got into the habit of sending emails. We've got into the habit. I have mentees who tell me, Sanjay, do you have a script that I can send on WhatsApp to get people's attention? Sanjay, do you have a script that I can share on social media? Guys, if a message could sell insurance, if a social media post could sell insurance, we don't need advisors. If a social media message could sell insurance, if a WhatsApp message could sell insurance, we don't need advisors. A computer can do that. If an email could sell insurance, we don't need advisors. Anyone can be emailed today. Think about it. What makes insurance sellable is the relationship that you have as an advisor with your client. Each one of you is relevant in the 21st century. And technology cannot replace you if you're focused on relationships. We are a relationship business. We are not a product business. Please understand that. We are a relationship business, not a product business. You are very relevant today. You are more relevant today because our clients are confused. They have too much choice. They actually don't know which product to buy. They don't know which advice to follow. They've got so much media information that's being fed to them that they actually don't know actions. Over analysis causes paralysis. We know this. And our clients are paralyzed because of the amount of information that's being dumped on them. They need financial advisors like you and me to help them make those decisions. They need friends to help them make those decisions. Be a good friend to your clients. Be a good advisor to your clients, because over analysis causes paralysis, and that's exactly what's happened to the market. What's happened to the market today? There are generic statements being thrown out. Buy term, invest the difference. It's an advice, but for whom? Whole life, annuities. People don't even know which product to focus on. Should I be doing ILPs? Should I be doing whole life? Should I be doing universal life? Should I be doing annuities? Should I be doing mutual funds? Should I be doing unit trust? What am I supposed to be doing? Our clients have a lot of choice today. They actually don't know what to do. So they do whatever someone else says, tell them to do. And that's our responsibility. Should I be buying crypto? Should I be buying real estate? Should I be buying gold? Should I be buying oil? Guys, we all have limited resources. You can't buy everything. Diversification doesn't work because we can't buy everything. And I want you all to think about this. Our clients need us more today than ever before. Our clients don't understand the concept of risk. They only hear the word return, return, return. They are driven by the greed of return. Think about it. They've been hearing the words 10x, 5x, 100x, 100x your portfolio, 10x your portfolio. That's what's driven in their brains because that's what the media is feeding them. They've been told there's a quick rich scheme somewhere. You can put money in this and you can become rich overnight. If that was true, everyone would be doing it, correct or not? They don't have financial advisors helping them build a successful, secured portfolio that is sustainable. They need you more today than ever before, guys. I cannot emphasize this enough, that our responsibility is more today than ever before. And if you don't understand that, you will lose the opportunity of a lifetime. For those of you who have just joined in, I want you all to download these notes. For those of you who don't know who I am, it doesn't matter, but I want you all to download these notes. Put these notes in front of your face all day. Keep them in front of you. Don't make these mistakes that I have made. Please learn from my mistakes. It will help you become successful in this business a lot more faster. If you have friends in this business, tell them to join into this session so that they learn these very important key steps to becoming better in this business. Tell them to come and watch this, because if they don't, they will lose out on the opportunity to help all of us be recognized for the work that we do. We do fantastic work, guys. We protect families that are not even ours. We have taken on a mission to make sure that people's futures are success. The worst case scenario, they will be millionaires and they will be successful. That's the worst case scenario that we work with. We ensure that our clients, their children, their grandchildren, for generations to come, are continuing to be successful. That's our business. We do it for families that are not even our own, but we don't get recognized for it. And I need that to change. I need to get recognized. I need each one of you to get recognized for the quality of work that you do, but that can only be possible if we do it together. One person cannot change the industry, but together we can make a huge wave of change. So get your fellow colleagues to join to the session so they understand the purpose of our profession, so that they don't make the mistakes that you and I have made, so that they don't repeat the mistakes that have been made. Rather, they improve on it and help each other grow to get to the next level. We need to help each other. And if you don't do that, you are not following your responsibility as a fellow colleague, as a fellow advisor. The good news, in the 21st century, we are more relevant than ever before. Technology is only a mode of communication, but it doesn't replace the quality of advice that we give. Please learn that. Our clients don't even have generic advice. Learn to give generic advice to anybody and everybody. Tell them, go speak to a financial advisor. You don't have to work with me, work with somebody else. That's all right. But learn to give good advice, because the quality of your advice will affect your sales. And I'm going to keep saying this. The other mistake that we make is we don't invest in ourselves. Guys, I'm not guilty of this mistake, but you're not investing enough into yourself to get the knowledge about our business. How many of you have spent time to understand how the insurance business works, how our products behave, how our business works? If you don't know that, if you don't invest into gaining that knowledge, understanding the business, understanding how to build the right sales process, if you don't invest time, money, energy into learning these skills, how are you going to become successful in this business? Can you think about a doctor that doesn't want to spend time in growing themselves? Every professional business has continuous education. Every professional will go through a process of educating themselves, to giving advice, to giving, I would say, taking care of people. It's the same in our business. How many of you spend time to learn new skills? How many of you spend time to learn new choice of words that will help you elevate yourself in front of your clients? How many of you spend time to practice your conversation skills? You want to all become fast runners, but you don't want to practice every day. How many of you practice role-playing strategies? How many of you practice objection handling strategies? How many of you practice closing strategies? How many of you? I realized in our business, the top openers, guys who can open up cases but can't close them, are the worst. If you don't know how to close a sale, you don't know how to close a conversation, you're going to have a problem in this business. So I want you all to think about this. If you're not investing in yourself, if you're not investing into building your practice, if you're not investing in that, there's no one who can help you on that. There's a lot of free stuff out there. You go to my YouTube video, go to my YouTube channel, you'll watch a lot of concepts. You'll learn a lot of objection handling strategies. You will learn recommendation strategies, because I know referrals are dead. Referrals don't work in our business anymore. I've actually put a whole video out there on that referrals don't work. If you truly want to be successful in this business, you have to build a stream of recommendations. People should be introducing you to other people. You should learn the art of getting recommended. You should learn the art of getting introduced to people instead of asking for referrals. Stop asking for referrals. The referrals are dead. In the 20th century, referrals worked. And they worked because in the 20th century, if you had someone's telephone number, you had their name, right? That was a great thing. In the 20th century, if you got someone's telephone number, congratulations. Today, in the 21st century, getting someone's number is so easy. Getting someone's email address, so easy. It's getting introduced to them that's difficult. Learn the art of getting introduced. Learn the art of getting recommended. If you don't get that, you will not be able to push yourself to the next level. So if you truly want to build your practice, you truly want to build your business, learn the art of getting recommended. If you don't learn it, you're going to lose out. You're always going to be running dry on prospects. You're always going to be complaining about the fact that you don't know who to speak to. You're going to have that problem in this business. Think about it. Think about it. Referrals are dead. I can't say that more openly, but it's the fact. When I joined this business, I remember my trainer telling me, you need to learn the art of asking referrals. And I said, okay, how's that? He's like, just ask them. Okay, what should I ask? Tell them, who's your best friend? Give me their name and number. I said, okay. And how many should I get? And he said, any number above 0 is a good number. So I started doing that. I started asking people, hey, who's your best friend? Give me their number. I'll give them a call. So when I call them, these are 3 usual answers that I get when I call people, when I'm from referrals, right? So for example, let's say John gave me James' number, all right? I'd call up James and I'm like, hi, James, John gave me your number. And he's like, who, John? Now I'm spending 10 minutes talking about who, John. Or the second answer that they could give me is, Hi, James, I got your number from John. And he's like, why did John give you my number? And now he's upset with John. Or the third potential answer that I used to get was, hi, James, I got your number from John and I thought I should speak to you. And he's like, I'm busy right now. Okay, I'll call you back. That's usually the third answer I got. And I got so demotivated because I really never got to talk about what I do. Instead, I spoke about John and what John does and who John is. And sometimes John even said, don't tell James I gave you my number. Haven't all of you heard that from your clients? I'm giving you his number, but don't tell him I gave you the number. Guys, referrals don't work. But imagine if John called James and said, hi, James, I have a friend. His name is Sanjay, and I think you should meet him. He's a fantastic guy. That is better than me calling James and saying, hi, John gave me your number. I want to get recommended. I want to get introduced. You want to get recommended in this business. If you don't get recommended, if you don't build the right recommendation strategy, if you don't know how to get recommended, go on YouTube, go and watch my video on recommendations so that you know how to build the right system to get recommendations. Do recommendations work? What's the probability of it working? 6 out of 10. So I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10. It's not a foolproof strategy. No. It's a 6 out of 10. There's a 60% chance that it will work. But it is better than asking for referrals because referrals are dead. Guys, if you have just joined into the session, please download these notes. They are very useful. They should be in your face all the time so that you're not making those mistakes. These notes are a reminder of the mistakes you should not be making. All right? Download these notes. If you have friends, you have colleagues in this business, invite them to the session so that they know exactly what they should be doing and should not be doing. Because we as a profession need to grow together. The seventh and the most important mistake that I've made as well, is we underestimate our own effort. We underestimate the value that we bring to our clients. A lot of our clients compare us to other financial professionals, bankers, investment advisors. We get compared. And we underestimate the value of our business. We underestimate the value of our product. We underestimate the value that insurance brings to an estate, to an investment portfolio, to a business, to a family. We underestimate the value of our products. And that drops our level of confidence. Our clients tell us I already have a lot of money. And all of a sudden we are like, okay, if he has a lot of money, why does he need insurance? Or we have clients who say, this is not my priority. I would rather be buying property, or I would rather be doing investments in the markets. And we forget the reason why our product was created in the first place. We underestimate ourselves. We underestimate the ability of our products to help our clients achieve everything that they want to achieve in their life. We forget that. I want you all to get into the habit of understanding the purpose of our product. Is there any product in the world that does what life insurance does? Think about it. Is there any other product in the world that does what life insurance does? Life insurance creates your future income today. There is no product that can replace life insurance. There is no product that creates income that you haven't even earned yet. There's no product. There's no product that protects your income in case you fall sick. There is no product like insurance. You cannot be compared. The day you understand this, you will stop underestimating your value. The day you understand the ability of your products, the ability of our advice, the value that we bring to a family, the value we bring to a business, the value that we bring to an investment portfolio, the day you understand that, you will stop underestimating your relationship. You will stop underestimating your advice. And I need you all to understand there is no product in the world that replaces the value of life insurance to a family, to a business, to an investment portfolio, to a financial strategy. Insurance cannot be replaced. And the day you understand that, you will stop underestimating your value. Ladies and gentlemen, please get this very clear in your head. You are not replaceable. Each one of you brings something to that table that nobody else can. You're protecting future income. You're protecting exactly what drives a family's success. You're helping clients achieve everything that they want to achieve. You're helping your clients achieve their dreams. I tell this to my clients, Mr. Client or Miss Client, if given enough time, you will achieve all your dreams. I truly believe in you. If given enough time, you will achieve all your dreams. But if you don't have that time, I will ensure that your family gets everything that you dreamed of. That's my job. That's my job. I have no doubt in your ability to create whatever you want to create. I have no doubt. If given enough time, you will. But if you don't have enough time, I will ensure that it is created for your family. That is my job. And nobody can replace us on that value. The problem is we underestimate ourselves. We underestimate our ability. We underestimate our products. We underestimate the value of our advice. And these are the 7 biggest mistakes that I am equally guilty of. And I want each one of you all to avoid. Please learn from my mistakes. It will help you get to the next level. If you have just joined the session, please download these notes so that you can refer to them again and again. Invite your colleagues to join the session so that they get exactly the same message. Please share this with people around so that they understand the value of our business. Because our friends, our colleagues need to understand how we can all grow together. Sales is not our business. Sales is only a measurement. It's a byproduct of the quality of relationships that you have and the quality of advice that you give to your clients. Sales only tells me how good your relationships are and how good your advice is. I can't be more direct than this. I know some of you might get upset because I'm so straightforward, but I will share with you exactly what I feel. I know it hurts. I know the pain is there. I feel that pain with you because I'm telling you, I've made these mistakes. I've had the pain that you are also having. I'm an insurance advisor just like you. I meet clients on a daily basis. I get rejections on a daily basis. How you bounce back, how you react, how you grow is your choice. I understand that pain, guys. I'm in that pain every day with you. Every day, I have the struggle of picking up the phone and talking to people. I have that struggle just like you. I wake up every day and I'm thinking, who should I call? I'm thinking, what should I do? And I've built a system for that. Before I go to bed, I make a list of works that I need to do the next day. I put down that to-do list. I make a list of the people that I want to call. I make a list of the people that I want to build that relationship with so that when I wake up in the morning, I know exactly what I want to do. Please don't wake up on a day and feel that you have nothing to do. The worst feeling is going through a whole day feeling unproductive. The worst feeling is going through a full day feeling unproductive. bouncing back from that is even more difficult than a rejection. Bouncing back from that is even more difficult than a rejection. So please don't make these mistakes. These 7 mistakes are the biggest mistakes that I have made, and I would really recommend you to avoid making these mistakes. So put it in front of your face. Have it in front of you so that you don't make these mistakes. So in the last 4 months, what has happened? And I want to share with you 3 things that have happened in the last 4 months. Which is going to affect our business, and that's going to help you become either better or worse. So I want to put this down, right? The 3 things that have happened. Number 1, we've gone into the ability of again having face-to-face gatherings. So the last 2 years, we spent a lot of time virtually to try and stay in touch with clients. Now, when we have the ability to start meeting up with people, how many of you have taken the initiative to start actually meeting with clients? Think about this. We know for a fact that our closing ratio is higher in a face-to-face meeting than on a virtual meeting, including me, right? My closing ratio is significantly higher in a face-to-face meeting than a virtual meeting. However, virtual meeting saves a lot of time. So you need to find this very fine balance of how many virtual meetings you do and how many face-to-face meetings that you do. I want you all to get into the habit of building a hybrid business model. Now, I wouldn't have given you this suggestion 3 years ago. 3 years ago, this was not accepted mode of communication. 3 years ago, this was not the way we did our business. 3 years ago, I did not even think I could be having a conversation with a computer. But you have to get into the habit of talking to a camera now. In the last 2 years, that's what I've done. I've gotten into the habit of having a real conversation with a camera. However, my closing ratio has dropped. So it's very difficult to close business over a Zoom call. However, it's a fantastic way to communicate. It's a quick way to communicate. It's a great way to remember relationship. It's a great way to be a familiar face to your clients. It's a great way to have conversations, quick conversations. However, it doesn't help you close cases. So you need to learn to have the art of using technology like this to have a conversation with your clients. However, if you truly want to close cases, learn to get back into the habit of having face-to-face meetings. People still like to meet. Shaking a hand, sitting down with them, looking them in the eye, and having a conversation with your body language, because your body language plays a very important role in the closing process. They need to see it. They need to feel the genuine love, warmth that you have for them before they sign that dotted line. So yes, you can use this technology to stay in touch, but if you truly want to build a high closing ratio, learn to get back to face-to-face meetings, right? Start having those real face-to-face meetings as well. But use technology to stay in touch with people. Now, when I say technology, I truly mean technology like phone. We had the phone many years ago as well, right? That's not new technology, that's old technology. Pick up the phone and have a conversation. Text messaging doesn't work because your tonality is not felt. A voice note is still better than a text message. Think about this. I know a lot of people say, Sanjay, should I put out stuff on social media? Guys, social media doesn't work. Let me be very transparent with you. Social media does not work for two very specific reasons. Number one, nobody is looking forward to buying insurance online. Nobody's looking forward to buying insurance, period. That's it. It's as clear as that. The only followers you will have on social media are probably financial advisors. Think about it. I'm probably the loudest guy online, right? I'm there on every YouTube channel, on Facebook, on Instagram. Do I get any clients from my social media profile? None. There's not a single person who sends me a message saying, hey, Sanjay, I watched your video and I think I should be buying this. It doesn't happen. Think about it. By the way, yes, I did get people who cannot buy insurance sending me messages. Hi, Sanjay, I'm looking for insurance for my 80-year-old mother. Can you help me with that? Sanjay, I'm diabetic. I've got pre-existing conditions. Can you help me buy insurance? What did I tell you guys? Insurance is a product that you can only buy when you don't need it. because when you need it, you can't get it. So all the people who need it are looking for you, but they can't get it. And all the people who don't need it are never looking for you. So think about this. Learn to understand that our business is a relationship business. It's a communication business. It's an advisory business. You have to learn to keep giving advice to everybody around you. You have to get into the habit of practicing to give right advice. Learn that. Everyone that gets in touch with you will probably only be looking for you because there's nobody else who will help them. And I tell them, I wish I could help you, but there's no choice there. You can only buy insurance when you don't need it. But because when you need it, you can't. So I want you all to think about this. The second trend that's becoming very important, and I want you all to think about this, is international borders have started to open up, right? So as international borders open up, your clients will start spending money that they haven't spent on travel for the last 2 years. Our clients haven't been spending money on travel for the last 2 years. So they've got travel money stacked up, which they will now start spending on when the borders open up. So they will start traveling, they will start exploring ideas, and they will actually spend more money than ever before because they want to get out. And that will cause them to start looking at financial debts. They will start losing cash flow. Please learn to have that conversation with your clients that as the borders open up, don't get too aggressive with travel. I know you want experiences, but make sure you don't go financially broke trying to live the 2 years that you've missed out on. I have a few clients who said, Sanjay, the last 2 years I've only been working. Now I want to take a 3-month sabbatical. And I was like, you take a 3-month sabbatical. Do you know how that will affect your cash flow? Learn to ease in back into the real time. Ease into your travels. Ease in. And I'm giving that advice to my clients that they shouldn't be overspending to catch up on the 2 years that they have lost. Think about it. They're actually going to do that. They've already started doing that. I know some families who have traveled so much in the last 1 month and they have spent so much money in the last 1 month because the borders opened up. They've started going to hotels and traveling first class because they said, hey, 2 years ago, 2 years money that I've saved on travel, I'm now, instead of traveling economy, I'm going to travel first class. I used to stay in a 4-star hotel. Now I'm going to spend money in a 5-star hotel, living in a suite because YOLO, you only live once. That's what you hear, right? Hey, Sanjay, man, YOLO. I was like, guys, you've got it wrong. It's YODO. You only die once. You have to live every single day. And I promise you, I have people telling me, Sanjay, life is so short. Guys, I promise you, life is so long that you don't want to live a life of regret. Life is not short. If life is short, there is no regret. You bloody die and it's finished. Life is long. You don't want to live a long life with regrets. You have a short life, there is no regrets. You're dead, finished, period, done. And after you're dead, there's nothing there. But if you're living a long life, which all of us will, we on an average will live a longer life. You don't want to live a long life with regrets. That's our job. It's not YOLO, it's YODO. Think about it. We've got that wrong. So guys, spend time with your clients to help them understand that as the borders open up, they should ease in to the traveling. They should ease in to the spendings that they would otherwise be doing. They should ease in to the holidays, to the experiences. They should ease into it and not just go overboard with it. The problem is we've been literally like caged animals, and all of a sudden the cage is open. We all want to run out. And in that process, people will get trampled. Your financials will get trampled. Your businesses will get trampled. So ease out of the cage. Don't do it quickly. Learn to do it systematically. Don't build bad habits. Learn to build good habits. You need to build good financial habits. You need to build good healthy habits. You need to build good habits with your business. You need to build good habits with your spending, with your earnings. Learn to build good habits. And that is something that is a conversation that I'm having with every single client out there. It's a very relevant topic. It allows you to have a conversation and it allows your clients to make good decisions. The third thing, and I mean, all of us know this, right? The third biggest change that's happened is financial markets are significantly more uncertain than ever before. The volatility in the market has gone absolutely berserk, right? We've got everything collapsing. We've got inflation. I mean, we've literally had what happened in 2008, 2001. We have positive correlation in every asset class. When you talk about investments, we always talk about having a balanced portfolio. We talk about having a diversified portfolio. Take on assets which have got negative correlation, that have got opposite correlation. We've got no correlation. Markets are moving up and down too quickly. And the problem is they're all moving in the same direction. Property prices are going down, equity markets are going down, the bond markets are going down, cryptos are going down. You've got fixed deposit interest rates going down or fixed deposit interest rates going up. However, not directly. The fixed deposits are taking time. The cost of borrowing has gone up. So you're seeing interest rates going up. You're seeing inflation going up. But you're not seeing the fixed deposit rates increasing, but you're seeing cost of borrowing going up. So that's where there's a link that's missing. We have got a lot of volatility in the market and we haven't figured out what do we do. One thing I can promise you, this is not the first market volatility that we all are going to experience. This is one of many that we're going to see in our lifetime. I saw one in 2001. I saw it in 2008. I saw another one in 2012. We're seeing now one again, right? So this is the fourth just in the last 20 years. I don't know how many more we're going to see in our lifetime, but this is not the only volatility that you will see. And I want you all to remember this. We are in a business that's not market related. Think about it. Markets go up, markets go down, you will still die. Markets go up, markets go down, you will still fall sick. Markets go up, markets go down, your kids will still want to go to school. Markets go up, markets go down, people still want to retire. Think about it. Just because the markets are going up or markets are going down, you cannot say, I will not die. We are an unrelated product. We are probably the only product that is not affected by market conditions. Your family cannot fail. Your business can fail. Your profession can fail. Your strategies can fail. But you cannot let your family fail. And that is our job. I work with a lot of family businesses, and I'm telling them to learn to isolate family from business. Because a family cannot fail. A business can fail. You can't let your business value, your professional career value affect the way your family is. You can't let your family's lifestyle get affected by the way the world works. The world can be going to hell, but your family should feel secured. Things could be going bad, but your family should feel secured. That's my job. When everything is going bad, my job is to still make your family feel secured. Please understand that that is our business. We are in the business of security. We are in the business of providing that level of comfort to our clients so that they can take the risks in their life, knowing that we are there as their backup plan. We allow our clients to take more risk. Insurance as a product allows families to take more risk. That's our job. So when the markets are correcting, when the markets are going down, I actually tell my clients, don't worry, I got your back. If something happens to you, I will still protect your family. So I want you to run. Allow your clients to grow. Allow your clients to take risk, but they can only take risk if they have the right protection mechanisms in place. In case they fall sick, the family should be protected. In case they pass away, their family should be protected. In case they are forced to retire, their family should be protected. When their kids have to go to college, they shouldn't be worried about the stock market. The money should be there. You can't tell your kids, Sorry, son, sorry, daughter, you can't go to school this year because the markets are bad. Think about it. When your kids need to go to school, they need to go to school. Help your clients make those decisions because your clients don't know. All our clients are very good at what they do, but they don't understand our products. They don't understand our structure. They don't understand what insurance does. And that is our responsibility. So, as markets correct, clients will lose wealth, but they will not lose the ability to grow more wealth in the future. Remind them of that. Remind your clients that they have built wealth in the past, they've built income in the past, they can do it again. But in case something happens to them, their families are going to be in big trouble. And that's our responsibility, is helping our clients regain the confidence of taking risk. Because as markets collapse, as things go bad, our clients will lose the confidence that allows them to take risk. It is our responsibility to help them make those decisions. I sit down with my clients and I'm like, listen, I don't have a problem in you taking risk on the condition that you are protected, because you know how to take that risk, you know how to manage that risk, but your family does not. Your family does not. If you fall sick, your family does not know what to do. If you pass away, your family does not know what to do. When you're forced to retire, your family does not know what to do. As long as you are there, I'm not worried. You will figure it out. Learn to provide confidence to your clients. Our product is the only product in the world that can help families get that confidence back. Insurance was built for exactly that reason, providing the safety net, that confidence of facing that uncertain future that we all are scared of. Insurance as a product was created for exactly this reason, to help us navigate that uncertain future that we all are scared of. If you have just joined this session, please download the notes. Please download them and keep this in front of you so that you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Avoid the mistakes that I told you. Focus on the opportunities that I've just expressed to you so that you can grow your business. Guys, 2022 is a very unique year. Some of us will become very good and some of us will lose that opportunity. I don't want you to be the one losing that opportunity. If you have colleagues in this business who you want to ensure are growing with you and they understand the value of our business, tell them to join into the session so they understand the value that we bring to the table. We as a profession have to support each other. We as a profession have to agree to work together. If we don't work together, we are going to fall apart. We have to stay united as a profession. We have to learn to help each other grow. We have to learn to build the right practices, the right system. We have to learn to share best practices. You have to learn the best practices. I'm learning every single day. Please remember that. So let me talk about some of the most common objections that you're going to get when the markets are bad like this. So the most common objection that I've heard over the last couple of months, right, is, Sanjay, the market is not looking very good. Why should I invest in your product? So the objection handling process has not changed, right? There are a few changes that I'm making, and I'm doing a whole session just on objection handling. But the objection handling process is still quite similar. Few changes that I'm going to make, and I'm going to do a whole session on objection handling. But today, I want to just talk about some of the most common objections you're going to get. So markets are not doing well. Why should I invest in your product? Well, Mr. Klein, you need to understand that you're right. The markets are not doing well. But we know for a fact that's exactly when you should be entering into the markets. When the markets are doing bad, that's when you enter. When the markets are doing well, that's when you start to get out. The problem is most people get in when the markets are doing well and get out when the markets are doing bad. So that's the reason why you should be with me. By the way, insurance has nothing to do with the markets. You see, insurance as a product was built to be unrelated to markets. In case you fall sick, market is good, market is bad, I will still pay. In case you pass away, markets are good, markets are bad, I will still pay. Insurance as a product was built to be not market related. So my product actually has no relationship to the market. Yes, your investments have, but insurance doesn't. So if you truly want to diversify your portfolio and protect your family, my product actually does exactly that. I know you know how to manage risk. I know you know how to do your business. You know how to build your career. I know that. And if you're given enough time, you'll do it. But in case you don't, let me make sure that your family is protected. Right? If you have time, you will do it. So that's how I would handle that objection. The other objection that I'm getting is I'd rather be spending my money on stocks and cryptocurrencies. I've heard that a lot over the last 3 to 4 months that Sanjay, I would rather be buying the markets. I'd rather be spending money on building a cryptocurrency asset portfolio. And what I've been telling my clients is continue building a portfolio. I'm not going to say don't do it. Actually, I want you to take those investment risks, but don't take life risk. You are okay. You can take investment risks, but don't take life risk. You see, my job is to protect the risks of life. You falling sick, your investment portfolio will get liquidated. When you talk about assets, right? We focus on asset accumulation, asset preservation, asset distribution. I'm sure you've all heard that. Asset accumulation, asset preservation, asset distribution. We've actually got that wrong. It's not assets. It's about income accumulation, income preservation, and income distribution. Think about it. Your entire lifestyle, right? The food, clothing, shelter, as we call the basic needs of life. Your food, your clothing, your shelter is based only on one variable, which is your income. Your income decides the kind of food you eat. Your income decides the kind of clothes you wear. Your income decides the kind of house you live in. So your entire lifestyle is based only on one variable, which is income. And all of us are working to get more and more income. So it's about income accumulation. It's not about asset accumulation, it's about income accumulation. We all want more and more income. It's not about asset preservation, it's about income preservation, making sure that my income doesn't disappear. And there's only one product in the world that preserves future income, and that is life insurance. There is no product that replaces life insurance. There's no product that preserves your income. So income preservation is a tool that's only available by using life insurance or critical illness insurance, or what we call income protection due to illness, right? It's the only product that does it. Income distribution, think about it. What do you really want to give your children? Do you want to transfer assets to your children, or do you want to give them an income stream? Think about it. And I realized some of the wealthiest families in the world focus on income distribution rather than asset distribution. And once you understand this, the whole concept of financial planning changes. The problem is we've been taught financial theory, but we haven't been taught financial planning theory. Financial planning theory is based on income and not assets. And the day you understand that, you will change the way you do your business. So please remember this. It's all about income, not assets. The third objection that I'm thinking is the market looks like it's collapsing. I'd rather hold cash with me right now. Right? Another way of saying it is cash is king. Right? Mr. Client, you are absolutely correct. Cash is king. I absolutely agree with you. And that's exactly what my job is. You see, whenever you need cash, I will give you cash. I am the only business in the world that delivers cash. In case you pass away, I make sure your family has cash. In case you fall sick, I ensure that you have cash. When you want to retire, I make sure you have cash. When your kids go to college, I ensure that you have cash. I am the only business in the world that gives you cash every time you need cash, because you're absolutely correct. Cash is king. I'm the only business that creates cash. That's my only job. Think about it. You are the only advisor that's giving cash to your clients. When you pass away, do I give properties? No, I give cash. When you fall sick, do I go around giving you equities portfolio and bond? No, I give you cash. When your kids go to school, what do I give you? Cash. When you retire, what do I give you? Cash. Cash is king. So then why are you buying all these other random assets, which are all second grade assets? Buy the king. I am giving you the king. Each one of you is actually in the process of building cash reserves and cash portfolios for our clients in different moments in their life when they will need it. Because you're absolutely correct, Mr. Client. Cash is king. And that's our job, to build cash for our clients when they need it. And there are 4 times in life when you always need cash. When you pass away, your family needs cash. When you fall sick, your family needs cash. When your kids go to school, your family needs cash. When you retire, you need cash. You don't need assets. You need cash. And that's what I do, is create cash. The fourth and the most common objection that you will get right now, and this is happening because I'm hearing it, is, Sanjay, I don't even have enough cash right now. Mr. Client, I actually understand that cash is a concern right now. But can you imagine this, that today you're telling me you can't even afford to buy insurance? In case you pass away, then what happens? If you can't afford to buy insurance, you can't afford to die. If you can't afford to buy critical illness insurance, you can't afford to fall sick. And if you can't afford to save money for your retirement, you will never retire. And if you can't afford to put money aside for your kids' education, your kids will lose the opportunity to start a life with the right foundation. Think about it. Find a way to put money aside. If you can't, you're going to be in big trouble. If you can't afford to buy insurance, you can't afford to die. And if you can't afford to buy critical illness insurance, you can't afford to fall sick. Think about it. What I can do, you can put it on your credit card. You've got 30 days to figure it out. Can you imagine you go to a doctor and the doctor says, you need to do a medical treatment. It's going to cost you $300,000. And you tell the doctor, I don't have the money. What's the doctor going to say? Figure it out. Guys, during COVID, we had a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses right in the front line. We had a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses at the front line protecting people, protecting them from falling sick, helping them recover through this whole pandemic. But right behind them was us. We were right behind those doctors and nurses, protecting the families of those people that were recovering. So while doctors protected the people from COVID, protected them and helped them recover from COVID, we helped the families who were right behind those doctors and nurses. We were right behind them. We were right in the front line, fighting with them, protecting the families of those people that were left behind. That is our job. A lot of people died during COVID. And when they died, our profession was the one that protected the families of those who were deceased. We were right in the front line. That front line hasn't changed. We still have to be in the front line. Please remember that. Please remember your responsibility. Please remember your absolute value that you bring to the economy. We are in the front line with those doctors and nurses, ensuring that the families left behind of the sick and the deceased are protected. That's our job. COVID's here to stay for a while. We still have to be in the front line, helping our clients manage that. The doctors and nurses are doing their job. Are you doing yours? The doctors and nurses are doing their job. Are you doing yours? Please don't lose sight of your responsibility to the economy, to the friends, to the families, to the society around you. Don't lose sight of it. Don't forget, it's your responsibility to protect the families. You see, the doctors and the nurses are saving individual lives. We are saving the lives of the families that are left behind. That's how important our responsibility is. Stop losing sight of that responsibility. Stop losing that sight. If you have just joined the session, please download these notes, because these notes will help you, remind you of all the work that you need to do going forward. Please share these with our colleagues. Help them grow better. Our profession needs to grow, and we can only do it together. Invite your friends to watch this so that they know what they should be doing with their own business. Help your colleagues get better. And I promise you that as a profession, if we grow, all of us will grow together. One person cannot make a difference, but together we can all make a huge change. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a coach. I'm a practitioner just like each one of you. I have the same struggles that you have. I have the same pain that you have. I just want to make sure that you don't go through the same mistakes that I have made. I'm sharing my mistakes with you. Nobody shares their mistakes. Everyone shares their success story. They don't share the mistakes that they do. I'm openly telling you about the mistakes that I have made, and I want you all to not repeat the mistakes that I have made. Everyone talks about the rags to riches story. Nobody tells you about the rich to the rags story. No one tells you how the rich became poor. They will always tell you how the poor became rich. That's the problem with the world. They talk about the guys who have done it. They don't talk about the guys who have lost it. I'm here to share with you the story of how not to lose it, because I've been there, I've done that. I've had bad years, I've had bad times, and I've come out of them, and I'm sharing with you exactly what I did to get out of it. And if you don't make those changes, you don't learn those bad habits that I had and improve them into good habits, you will lose the opportunity of a lifetime to becoming one of the best advisors in the profession. As a business, we have to grow together. As a profession, we have to grow. And if you don't do this every day, you're going to lose out on that opportunity of a lifetime. 2022 is a significant year of balance of power change. In this year, we're going to see a lot of wealth destroyed and a lot of families getting affected. It's our responsibility to help and stand by those families, to help them get through these very tough times that are coming in front of us. We have already seen it happen in the first half of the year. The next half of the year, we don't even know how bad it's going to get. We truly don't know. But we as financial advisors have to stand by the families around us to help them get through these very tough times, to help them make those very difficult decisions on what they should be doing and should not be doing. Please learn to share good habits with your clients. Please learn to share good habits with everyone that you meet. This business is not about sales. This business is about building the right relationships and giving fantastic advice. The sales you generate are only a measurement of the quality of advice that you give and the quality of relationships that you build. I cannot emphasize that enough. There are some mistakes you'll make. There are some mistakes you'll make in the quarter. This quarter, we will make some mistakes. So I'm going to tell you the mistakes that you should be avoiding, especially in this quarter. The first mistake is, I don't want you to miss out on the best time to open up cases. You have to remember one thing. The closing ratio is only a percentage of the number of cases that you open. Your closing ratio is a percentage of the number of cases that you open. The more cases you open, even if your closing ratio is very low, you will still be very good at performing it. So before you focus on closing, I want you all to get into the habit of opening cases. Get into the habit of building that activity rate. Open more and more cases, because closing is a percentage of opening. So if you open 100 cases, if your closing ratio is 20%, that's 20 cases. But if you open only 10 cases and your closing ratio is 20%, By the way, if you open 10 cases and your closing ratio is even 100%, that's only 10 cases. I'd rather be a guy who opens 100 cases with a 20% closing ratio, because that's 20 cases. I'm actually doing more work than someone who's got a 100% closing ratio. So get into the habit of opening cases. Underwriting will take longer than ever before. Guys, please understand the insurance market is in a flux. We don't know the long-term effects of COVID. We don't know the long-term effects of insurance pricing. We don't know what's going to happen in the underwriting process going forward. I promise you, underwriting is only going to take longer and longer and longer as we go through these COVID crises. As more and more data about COVID starts to come out, pricing of insurance policies will change. Terms and conditions of insurance policies will change. And I need you all to understand that if you don't open cases now, your long-term effect on your business will get very bad. Get into the habit of opening more and more cases during the second quarter. Please don't make the mistake of feeling that you only need to open a few. You need to open a lot of cases. Whether they close or they don't close, get into the habit of giving good advice and opening up cases for yourself. Even if you don't get it, another advisor does, it doesn't matter. We need to protect more and more clients today, because as COVID expands, as we get more and more data about COVID, it will affect our insurance policies. If it will affect the terms and conditions, it will affect the pricing. Please help your clients get protected today while they still can, because insurance can only be purchased when you don't need it. And when you do, you cannot get it. I cannot emphasize that enough. The second mistake, please do not take a break and start relaxing if you have had a good quarter one. Some of us have had a fantastic first quarter. Please do not take a break and start relaxing on that. Learn to build a momentum that keeps going through the year. Just because you had a good, strong quarter one doesn't mean you should be taking a break. It's time to get back to work. Get back into opening those cases. Get back into meeting more clients. Actually, this is a very good time to do it, because if you don't, you're going to lose out on that opportunity. Right? The third mistake is do not prioritize your time clearing backlogs. That will cause you to lose the momentum. So if you have backlogs in the business, you have got backlogs in terms of your underwriting, please learn to still continue opening up cases. Don't spend too much time on backlogs. Let your assistants help you with that. Let your assistants follow up for you. Please learn to have an assistant in this business. Have someone follow up things for you that are administrative. You are an advisor. Your job is to give advice. Your job is not administration. Get administrative help. Let someone follow up on the backlogs for you so that you can focus on what you do best. That is giving good advice, building relationships. That's your real work. So please learn to build the right system for yourself. The fourth mistake, if you enter 2022 with a positive mindset, do not start making excuses for missing quarters. You will miss your targets. And when you do, don't make excuses. Own the reason why you did it and improve on it. I'm missing on my targets a little bit. So I'm a little behind my targets right now. So the last 1 week, I've been working on making sure that I hit my targets. I follow my target like every week. Every week I'm monitoring, am I hitting my targets? Am I hitting my target for the week? Because if I'm not hitting my target, it increases the workload in the next week. If you don't hit your targets on a regular basis, you're only going to increase the burden in the next quarter, in the next quarter, in the next quarter, till a point where you just give up. So get into the habit of following your targets on a weekly basis. The more closely you follow your targets, the more accurately you will hit them. It's very easy to set targets. I know when I started this business, I started with a target saying, yeah, I'll do this. Halfway through the year, I'm like, it's okay, I'll take a discount. You see, we find reasons to give up. Please don't get into the habit of giving up, because if you give up once, you will get into the habit of giving up again and again and again and creating a whole plethora of excuses in your head of why you don't achieve your target. So please don't get into that mindset. If you have just joined into the session, I want you to download these notes. I want you to share these to your colleagues, share this session to your colleagues so that they understand what to do. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I've made. So don't remember those are 7 biggest mistakes that every financial advisor should avoid. I've shared with you the mistakes that I have made, and I don't want you to repeat them so that we can all grow together. Guys, I'm only doing this session because I want our business to be recognized and be given the opportunity to become better. So now I'm going to take some time to answer some questions. Harris, if you're around, could you help me with the questions that we have been asked so that I can answer all of them for you?
Okay, so for everybody here, you can go ahead, ask questions in the chat. We have our team members collating the questions so we can do this Q&A. We'll probably spend maybe 5 minutes if there's a few questions coming in. So we have 3 right now. So the first question is kind of long, actually. So this person asked, her client was saying this, it's more like an objection. The client said, I am past this type of insurance-based investments. So they're not interested in insurance-based investments. I am over-insured right now to cover the needs of my beneficiaries. If something were to happen to me, in fact, all my investments, the person was saying, I'm covered enough so that if something were to happen to me, everything's covered. They rather do investments because over the last 35 years of this person doing their own business, they rather do investments and invest in their business. So everything is handled by their bankers. So how does this person then handle this objection?
Okay, first of all, I want you all to understand that, Mr. Client, I actually truly agree that if you do investments into your business, that's a great thing, right? And that's exactly what my job is. I like to separate family from the business. Your business should do well and your family will get rewarded for it. But in case the business fails, I don't want your family to get affected by it. And that's the gap, right? Is understanding that what am I trying to achieve? Now, when you say I have enough insurance, there's actually a simple do-it-yourself formula, DIY formula. 10 times of your annual income should be insurance. If you have that much, you're set. By the way, guys, I've traveled the world. I've not met anyone who's got it enough. They haven't figured this out. Now, in case you fall sick, what's the rule of thumb? 5 times of annual income. So, Mr. Client, if you've got 10 times of annual income as a ballpark figure, as a rule of thumb, you're fine. If you've got 5 times of annual income that you're putting aside in case you fall sick, you're set. If you're not saving 20% of whatever you earn towards your retirement, you're going to be in trouble because you will reach an age when you cannot make decisions for your business. You will reach an age where you don't want the stress of business. At that time, I want you to have the ability and the option to retire. So even if you tell me you don't want to retire, I get it. I'm not telling you want to retire, but in case you're forced to retire due to ill health or due to age, you should always have the option to retire. And the best way to build that option of retirement is to put aside 20% of whatever you earn into a product that gives you regular income. And a lot of insurance products are focusing on giving regular income. And that's what you want to create for your children. You don't want to pass on assets to your children. You rather want to provide them anything that gives them regular income. So focus on income rather than asset protection, asset management, asset preservation, asset distribution. It's an income strategy. And that's how I would handle that client. I wouldn't panic. I would actually handle it very, very gently because the client just told you his biggest problem. He truly believes in his business. Mr. Client, I truly believe in your business as well. And I know you can handle it. But in case something happens to you, I want to make sure your family doesn't get affected because a business can fail, but a family should not be allowed to fail. And that's how you segregate a family from a business. And that's how I'd handle that objection.
All right, perfect. Again, if you're watching, please leave your questions in the comments. Our team members will be collating them and I'll be asking Dr. Sanjay these questions. All right, moving on. So the next one is from Paul. Paul asks, I'm new in the industry. How do I build a foundation for leads?
Paul, you're new in the industry. You probably have more leads than an old advisor. Think about it. An old advisor has probably used up all the leads that are available to them. And they are the ones who have a prospecting problem. You are probably in the most amazing position to be in. Everyone that you know is your lead. Just check your contact list. I'm sure you have a few hundred people in that list. Learn to pick up the phone and talk to them. I could be sending you a whole list of names and numbers. You can pick up the phone book and you'll have a list of names and numbers. But that's not a lead. A real lead is who you have a relationship with. Learn to build relationships in this business. If you're new in this business, please understand that relationships is the name of the game. It's not leads, it's relationships. And as soon as you understand that, you will find a reason to stay in this business. I can give you the best leads, but those are going to be transactional. They're not going to be staying with you for the rest of your life. They're going to be looking for the cheapest product, the highest return, they're going to be looking for the what we call a transaction. Please get out of the world of transactions and go into the world of relationships, because the days when you have a bad day, it's those relationships that will get you through those dark days. And if it's a pure transactional business, you will find a reason to leave. So Paul, if you take one piece of advice from me today, I want you to take the habit of building relationships. Call every single person that you know, build a relationship with them, give them your best advice. They buy from you, they don't buy from you. That's not the point. Learn to give them good advice. If you give them good advice, sales is only a measurement of that quality. All right. And that's what I would tell you, Paul. Don't focus on getting leads, focus on getting relationships. Build those relationships with people you already know.
Okay, perfect. Now, another question also coming from a new advisor. So this person asked, what advice could you give to new advisors? What should they even be talking about when they meet these people?
If you're a new advisor in this business, I want you to get into the habit of building the right sales system. All right. So I want you to go and watch some YouTube videos of mine where I've talked about the sales process. It starts with concept presentation. You need to explain to your clients why they need to be even doing insurance. After you've done a concept, if they don't agree with you, that means they will have an objection. Get into the habit of learning how to handle those objections. Once you've been able to handle those objections correctly, then the next step is how do you close it? So what are the ways that you can close clients from a sales perspective? Once you've done closing correctly, then comes the product choice. Then comes all your other product features. But first, they need to be closed on the concept. They should agree to buy. If they agree to buy, then the next is product choice. So if you don't reach this point, which is of product choice, you haven't done step 1, step 2, step 3 correctly. So get your step 1, step 2, step 3 correct. If you're a new advisor, get into the habit of building the right habit of presenting concepts rather than products. And that's the best advice that I could give you if you're a new advisor.
Okay, wonderful. Now, a slightly more technical question, a very interesting one. This is from an insurer perspective. So this person asks, if the markets get worse, right? How do the insurance companies reinvest the money, because they're probably getting a beating as well, right? And give stability to their own funds to be able to pay out claims or anything like that?
So one of the most exciting things is insurance companies don't take on a lot of aggressive portfolios. So I want you to understand, insurance companies are actually probably the most conservative investors in the market. They do not have a high amount of equity or what we call volatile assets in their portfolio, and that is regulated. So the regulators are actually monitoring the insurance companies for solvency, for risk, for return. Every insurance company is monitored. By the way, insurance companies also buy reinsurance to create what we call stop losses. So just like an investment manager, you would create something called a stop loss on portfolios. An insurance company also buys protection from reinsurances for losses that are out of the ordinary. So you need to understand, number one, an insurance company is already a conservative investor. They're not aggressive. However, individuals are a lot more aggressive. Number two, an insurance company can always go to capital markets to raise more money. So insurance companies have the ability to go to capital markets. However, individuals don't have the ability to go and borrow money when markets are bad. Think about it. A bank lends you money when you don't need it. And when you need the money, they don't want to give it to you. Whereas a financial institution, when they need money, they can always go to capital markets and get money from shareholders, from debt. They have a lot of other opportunities that individual investors do not have. So from an insurer perspective, number one, we don't take the risk. Number two, when we have a beating, it's on a small percentage of our portfolio, not the whole portfolio. Number three, let's say we do have a very bad year. We have a lot of reinsurance in place to monitor that and take care of that. And if any insurer is not doing it, don't worry, the regulators are watching them very carefully. So we are in a regulated industry. It's not the Wild West. The regulators are watching us. They're making sure that every client is protected. Insurance is the backup plan, not just for families, but it's a backup plan even for the world. Insurance is a backup plan, and everyone watches their backup plan. So remember that. And that's one of the biggest advantages of being in the world of insurance. We are the true backup plan for the economy.
Okay, wonderful. All right. A question that says, she's speaking to a business owner. This person says that they have surplus of money. They're very cash rich right now. What does this person need insurance for?
Well, because they're cash rich, they should use that money to keep it aside. You see, when you're cash rich, my whole job is when you're cash rich, put that money aside so that when you need the cash, I give it to you. The problem is majority of our clients are not cash rich. And that's why we create cash for them. Clients who are cash rich, learn to help them keep the money aside so that when they need the money, you give it to them. There are 4 scenarios in which a client needs money. Number 1, in case they fall sick, they need money. When they retire, they need money. When the kids go to college, they need money. When they pass away, their family needs money. So if you're cash rich, learn to put it aside. I will make sure that your family has it when they need it. Because if you have the money just kept with you as cash, what happens? 2 things. You'll get tempted to do investments that you're not supposed to do. You will be tempted to take risks that you don't need to take. If I take the cash away, I keep it aside, you will not be tempted to use it. So because you're cash rich, learn to keep it aside. If you don't have the cash, use me to create the cash that you want to create, right? So if you're not cash rich, use me to create the cash that you will need when you need it, right? That's my job. So the guy just told you his biggest problem. He's cash rich. That's why he needs insurance. Because when they are cash rich, they do end up taking risk that they shouldn't be taking in the first place.
In addition to that, the insurance company's cash is cheaper. Every $1 you give me, I give you 3.
Absolutely. We get a discount. We're pennies to the dollar. It's a very old saying in the world of insurance, right? We give pennies. You give me pennies, I give you dollars. Yeah. We are a discounted cash to them. If you have $1 million, I can create another $1 million with you just giving me maybe $200,000, $300,000. I'll create another $1 million for you. So I'm exactly. A 1:3, 1:5, 1:10, depending on age. You see, insurance is purchased with health and age. It's not purchased with wealth. You could be the wealthiest person in the world, but if you're not healthy, you can't get insurance. There was a joke that was floating around. Osama bin Laden was applying for life insurance. For $1 million of life insurance, his premium was $2 million. Right? So insurance is purchased with health and with age. It's not purchased with money, right? Yeah. And I want you all to remember this, that when you have the ability to buy insurance, you should, because when you need it, you can't. Insurance is only purchased when you don't need it, because when you need it, you can't get it. So I can't emphasize that more than ever before.
Okay. All right. There's another question. It's a pretty interesting one. So this person is saying that, I believe this person is saying that their client already has an annuity policy. Okay. And this annuity policy starts paying out in the 3rd year. There's a break even on the 8th year. Okay. However, the client says, or is always worried that if they need to withdraw cash in an emergency, how are they able to do it? Because the client keeps giving her reasons to surrender it early.
Okay, first of all, when clients are putting money into an annuity, right, you need to explain to them that this is money that is going to generate perpetual income. So an annuity is supposed to generate perpetual income. You're never supposed to cancel it. An annuity was not designed to be canceled. An annuity was designed to be milked. So please understand, it's like a cow that you don't sell. It's a cow that you actually keep milking forever. It's a cash cow. That's an annuity. An annuity is nothing but a cash cow. You don't sell your cash cow. You just leave it there. You don't get rid of it. It's the goose that lays you golden eggs. You don't cut that goose, right? You wait for the golden eggs. That's an annuity. And if you don't understand that, then don't buy it. An annuity was designed to give you golden eggs on a daily basis. You don't kill that goose. You don't say, hey, what if I need some meat to eat? Have something else. You're buying gooses. These are all geese that lay golden eggs for you, right? So stop comparing them to other things. You're not supposed to cancel an annuity. It was designed to be milked. It's not a short term, but a very, 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 very long term asset. It gives you perpetual income. That's the whole purpose of building an annuity portfolio, so that you build an income stream rather than being worried about assets. You have perpetual income coming from it. That's the whole point of an annuity portfolio, building long-term income. So stop thinking about cancellation.
Buy to die, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much.
If you can get a buy to die annuity, buy it, because that's what you really want, is perpetual income.
Yeah. Okay. This is a question from Edmund. Edmund says his client doesn't agree that they need 5 times annual income for income protection. He says his client says that his best friend says you don't need that much insurance. All you need is just medical insurance. What do you say to that?
It's like, so I remember I visited one doctor once, right? I was sitting with this doctor, and on his table, he had a mug, and I use it now, which said, don't compare Google to my professional qualifications. Don't compare Google to my professional qualifications. All right? That's exactly what I tell this client, is Google does not replace my professional qualifications. I'm a professional financial advisor. Your friend has an opinion. It's not advice. There's a big difference between opinion and advice. I'm not here to give you an opinion. I'm here to give you advice. Your friend is giving you an opinion, right? There are many people who are not in my business who give opinions. If you're not a medical doctor, you can give your medical opinion, but you cannot give medical advice. That's the difference. You still need to go to a doctor, right? So it's the same thing. Don't compare Google to my professional qualifications. I'm not here to give you an opinion. I'm here to give you advice. Your friends, your family, society will give you opinions, but only a qualified professional financial advisor can give you advice. Get that straight, guys. So don't compare Google to my professional qualifications.
All right, perfect. A question from Eva. Eva asks, she said that her client is worried there might be a time where she won't be able to pay the premiums because she might be, maybe out of contract for work, or, she might be unemployed for a period of time. How do you kind of solve this objection?
So this is how I would handle the objection. I'll say, you're absolutely correct, Ms. Client, or, you could come to a point where you might find it difficult to meet your financial premium commitments. But it's like saying, that, Sanjay, I will only leave the house. So let's say you want to go from your house to the airport, and you say, I will only leave the house when all the traffic lights are green, right? You will never leave your house. When we get to a traffic light, if it's amber, if it's red, we would make a conscious decision at that point of time. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? Do I stop? What do I do? I will make that conscious decision. So you cannot say, I will only make a decision when all the traffic lights are green. It's never going to happen. We need to make decisions. And as financial circumstances change, as your family life changes, your society, your income standards change, your commitments change, we will make changes along the way. And that's why it's called a financial plan and not a financial product. I'm not telling you to buy a product. I'm telling you to follow the plan. The plan will be there. If the plan changes, the product will change. Don't you go to a doctor who might change your medicine? Mm-hmm. Because the purpose of sitting with a doctor is to have a healthy lifestyle. Now, they might have prescribed you some medication that will help you maintain that healthy lifestyle. But if you're going off track, you're going off plan, they might change the medication. And that's exactly my job. I follow the financial plan of making sure you're financially secure. The products will change, the strategies will change, our implementation will change. So don't worry about that. When we get to it, we will cross the bridge. Don't try to cross the bridge before you get to it. So the question is, do you need it today? The answer is yes. Let's start the process. As we get to all those difficult points, if they ever do come, Let's pray it never happens, right? What if you become so successful that this premium is just a fraction of your income? It could come to a point where this premium becomes so cheap that you're like, can I just pay all of it right now? That might be the position you're in. And that's truly what I believe will happen. You will get to a point where you'll say, you know what? I have too much money. Let's just pay it off. So you might actually come into that position. So again, let's make the decision when we get to it. You can't say, I will only leave the house when all the traffic lights are green. You never leave the house. And that's how I would handle that objection.
All
Can
right,
we take
perfect.
one?
Yeah, last one. Yeah.
Okay.
Last one from Chow. Chow asks, he says that he has too many friends. He has a lot of friends that say they have, all of them have advisors and they don't want to speak to another advisor. How would you handle this?
First of all, it only means that you don't have a relationship with them. So what I would tell you is, when it comes to matters of life and death, it's always good to get a second opinion. And right now we are talking about life and death, right? We are talking about the life of your family and your death, right? So when it comes to matters of life and death, it's always good to get a second opinion. If you already have an advisor, that's fantastic. I'm only here to give you my opinion, right? Which you could then share with your current financial advisor. So what's usually happened is either they have not seen the relationship that you have or they've not seen the quality of advice that you give. So why don't you just give free advice? If it's good quality, it will convert to a new relationship that could potentially convert into a sale. The problem is you haven't built the credibility with those relationships. So get into the habit of building relationships, get into the habit of giving advice without having the expectation of a sale. Because when you build the right system of building relationship, giving advice, building relationship, giving advice, sales is only a measurement of the quality of work that you do. So please get that straight, guys. And that's how I would handle that situation, right? Now, before we end today's session, right, there were a few things that I did want to inform everyone that's available. We have an offline estate planning session in Malaysia on the 21st of May. So if you are in Malaysia, do come to the 21st to the estate planning session, which is offline. I will be sharing live with you guys. On the 23rd of May, I'm doing a session specifically on how to handle objections within 60 seconds. If you don't handle objections fast, you spend too much time thinking about it, you lose the credibility of being an advisor. So I want to share the new framework that I've used to speed up the process of objection handling, because I realize a lot of you are still struggling with that. And I want you all to learn how to speed up the process of handling objections, including me, right? So I keep working on my framework. I keep working on improving myself. So I do want to share with everyone that on the 23rd, I have the 60-second objection workshop, which will be online, right? So everyone that's online could watch it there. In June, I am doing a session in India, which is specifically on retirement planning, because I realize retirement planning is a very important part of our business. And some of us have become specialists with retirement planning. And I want to share with you how to specialize in the world of retirement planning. So this whole session is specifically on retirement planning. In India, it is already confirmed. It's on the 9th of June. However, I have not yet confirmed the dates in Singapore and Malaysia. I have not confirmed the event in Singapore and Malaysia, but it's expected to be on the 15th and the 17th of June in Singapore and Malaysia. So that's not yet been done. But if you are in India, it's already confirmed. It's on the 9th of June in Mumbai. But Malaysia and Singapore, I've still not confirmed, and I will have my team update you once it is confirmed. So I did want everyone to know about that.
All right, wonderful. So I have a few last announcements, but anything else you'd like to say, Dr. Sanjay, before we finish?
Guys, before we end today's session, I want you to think of two things, right? Number one, you download that PDF, print it out, keep it in front of your eyes so that you can keep referring to it. Please avoid those mistakes. If you have colleagues in this business who you think should be watching this video, tag them to the video so that they can sit and watch it. Invite them to watch this video because it will help them become better in this business. Guys, as a profession, we have to grow together. I cannot emphasize that enough. I alone can't change the way people perceive us. We as a community have to do it together. I'm sharing my information. I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm sharing my experience with you. No advisor, no top advisor is willing to share the mistakes that they make. I am actually telling you the mistakes that I have made. Please don't repeat those mistakes. My job has been only one, to help each one of you to get to the next level. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a coach. I'm an insurance advisor just like you. I'm here to share with you what I do every day. Everything that I've shared is exactly what I do on a daily basis. The way I handle objections, the way I motivate myself, the way I build my systems, the way I build my process. I'm sharing every single thing with you. I cannot get more transparent than this. So, guys, if there's one thing you take away from today, I want you to take away the art of building relationships, giving good advice, and sales is a byproduct of that. So, best of luck. Let's make 2022 our best year ever. Invite every single friend of yours. Help your colleagues get better. Let's together make that change that we need to see in our business so that we build the credibility, we build that reputation that we truly want as top financial advisors, as top insurance advisors, as financial planners who protect families. And for all of us who are protecting families on the front line, right by the doctors and nurses who are still fighting COVID. So best of luck and God bless.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. I have a few announcements, but I just want to say, wow, Dr. Sanjay is full of passion this entire session. So again, thank you so much. Thank you all of you for joining. Happy VSUP Day as well. But just a few announcements before we end. So just to confirm one more time regarding the next few events. So we have, again, an offline event in Malaysia on the 21st of May. We have the next online session on the 23rd of May. That will be for objection handling. And then in June, we have the session in India. And then we have 2 pending sessions in Malaysia and Singapore. All right. Last but not least, we also have book sales available as well. Again, this is a discounted book sales. If you are interested, we have 2 bundles that you can purchase. We have the learning kit, which is 5 books of the concept presentation, objection handling, closing, sales maximizer, the big case closer mindset. This 5 books will be able to allow you to present insurance ideas, handle objections, close, and even get upsales and recommendations. And of course, put you in the perfect mindset to handle bigger cases. These 5 books are going for US $99. We also then have the Ultimate Advisor book bundle, which are the same 5 books with additional financial planning book and also the Perfect Mindset blue and green book. All right, so the same 5 plus 3 more books. The first learning kit, 5 books, is US $99. The Ultimate Advisor book bundle, 8 books, US $147. And you can go to mentor.sanjaytolani.com/bundle order forms. Again, you have the learning kit, 5 books for US $99. And then the Ultimate Advisor book bundle, 8 books for $147 US. Again, this is available at mentor.sanjaytolani.com/bundle order forms. This entire session would be available on Facebook for the next 48 hours. So if you missed part of it or you joined late, you can rewatch the whole thing. If you have friends that you would like to share this to, you can also invite them to the group and then tag them in the video for them to watch this entire session, again, for free over the next 48 hours. All right, that should be all. Thank you again.